Welcome back to the Reaver Approach channel. This was supposed to be the 20K Q&A, but last time we got a little too drunk and now it's a 30K Q&A. Welcome. We've read through the questions once before, and honestly, that has made me wonder if you are loved enough as children. So with that, here's our 30K Q&A. Of course, we are joined with the emo range baddie, the Reaver Approach variant herself, Quantum. She'll be reading all the questions, so kudos to her for being able to read all the nonsense that you've wrote for us. Welcome to the channel, everyone. Let's get started. First question.
Our first question is going to come from Joe Ibarra. When was the first time you shot a firearm and what was it?
First gun that I shot, at least in memory, I was at a scout camp and I actually shot my dad's AK-47 and I thought it was just the coolest gun. It was huge. I was a young kid. Next question.
Next question from Rookie Guy. What caused you to get more serious about firearms and training?
Sure. I was in a pretty tough scenario and I realized that if I drew my firearm, then I was not ready. I did not feel proficient with what I could do. After that situation, I really started taking it more seriously. I knew that I needed to work on my accuracy, my draw, and just take it all way more seriously. So after that really startling life event is when I started training more seriously, which was right around 2015 or so.
Third question from the Dirt Biking Drifter. What do you think about VR training for cops or the military?
Sure. I think VR training is pretty solid. I think it's a very cost-effective way to get some real dynamic training. You're moving. You've got a little bit more than just a paper target. And so places that are really budget strapped, or it's just something that they can do reoccurring trainings for, I think that's a brilliant way to get in some extra training.
Our next question from FF Scene Mons. What is your least favorite weather to train in?
My least favorite is definitely mud. I fucking hate the mud. It gets everywhere. Every time you're running, it slides, and then your feet are like 2 or 3 pounds heavier because you've got inches of mud. And honestly, I just hate going back and cleaning after it. Whenever I shoot in the mud, I bring a bunch of Walmart sacks. That way, when I get into my car, I strap them over my feet, and then I go to the car wash off my car and then blow off my feet, and then I drive home with just soaking wet boots. So I hate the mud. I hate the mud worse than I hate summer training, and I fucking hate the heat.
All you people that like summertime, miss me with that shit. It is so fucking hot out here.
Next question.
By Drifter BTL. How many firearms do you own?
I honestly don't know. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Right around 15 or 16 or so, roughly. Most of them are rifles. I have just a couple handguns.
No joke about the ATF?
Who are you, the fucking ATF?
Our next question is from Orlock X Wolf. If money wasn't a concern, what pistol would you buy and why?
What pistol? Ooh. Honestly, if money was not a concern, I would definitely trick out a 5.7. Optic on the slide, so getting it milled, if it was possible to do so. And then I wouldn't have to worry about shooting the round either, because 5.7 is extremely expensive round. But ever since Splinter Cell, I grew up on that on the PlayStation 2. Ever since that game, I've loved the 5.7. I've had that obsession with it. I know it's a little bit overhyped, but I'm the person that it was overhyped to, and I stand by my decision.
From Fibligma, if you could have one gun and unlimited ammo for the zombie apocalypse, what are you picking?
Unlimited ammo. Now that I'm kind of thinking about it, unlimited ammo, but I still had to carry it, I think I might do... Normally I do a 22 because you can carry so much ammo for the 22. But if I had unlimited ammo, I would probably choose something that shot the 5.7 caliber because it's a little bit more capable than a 22, so it can deal with human threats a little bit more. But also it's a very small round, so I might do that. Something like a P90 or something of the sort, maybe like a CMMG Banshee would be pretty sick. No, I'd go with P90 because you can have 50 round mags and it's a short compact platform. So definitely P90. I stand by it. Stand by it.
Our next question is by River Actual. Do you have a favorite gun in your current collection?
Oh, the favorite gun in my collection is probably my AK. The AK is probably my favorite. It was a fun gun to build, sourcing all the material, getting the Zenit Co, and then getting it all assembled. I also love the way the AK looks. So this is probably my favorite gun currently that I own. I don't know why. I love my Tavor, but the AK just does something for me.
Our next question is from ODS Anti-Ulf. What would be your dream loadout or gun?
Dream loadout or gun, I would definitely get a Scar 17S. Short barrel, but extended rail. Suppressed, so it went over the rail. Nice short. I'd probably keep it around like a 12-inch barrel. I know that's wasting the utility of a 308, but I think it's really cool. As far as loadout to go along with it, I would probably do some sort of plate carrier with supporting LBE that goes on top of it. That just supported carrying a lot of mags. A lot of them would be on the sides, and then probably do a drop leg platform as well to carry more mags. I know people say drop leg platforms are kind of cheesy and lame, but I like them. Fuck yourself. I'll cut that last part out.
It's so aggressive.
So aggressive with an L can and some sort of PEC laser device on the Scar as well. Dual tone. It's got to be dual tone.
A similar question from Mr. Sumac. How is it going with your Scar?
Ooh, non-existent at the moment. That is going to be my graduation present to myself. I have about 9 months until I finish my degree. I'm extremely excited about it. So once that is done, the hunt for the Scar will begin. Maybe it'll start with a tax return a little afterwards.
Our next question is from Shylog. What's your favorite Cold War 308 battle rifle?
Cold War 308. If it's strictly just the gun, the FAL. However, if I'm able to bring it into the modern age, an updated G3 I think is so sick. It's really hard to update them. Something like the spur stock as well as the quad rail handguard. I think those are so cool. Administrative Results did a video of one, and I just thought it was peak aesthetics. If I was to own one right now, I would definitely pick the G3 and then modernize it. I think it's so cool.
Our next question is from Solgo the Wise. What's your favorite gun from a video game?
I actually did a recent short on this, but it's definitely the SC20K from the original Splinter Cell. It had like a Scar stock on it, but it was also mixed with an FS2000. Eventually, I'll probably try to make one of those and try to replicate the SC20K from Splinter Cell, but that's absolutely my favorite video game gun.
Our next question is from Trevin Eakins. What's your dream firearm to own?
Dream firearm, still Scar 17S, short barrel, suppressed. I love short, compact battle rifles. And I like big, chunky guns. Chunkertons. I like them to be beefy. Big and thick. That's going to be a tough edit.
He's not beating the Twitch allegations. Our next question is from Gray. What's your favorite military vehicle?
Favorite military vehicle is definitely the Osprey, I believe is what they're called, which is going to be and this is from Splinter Cell as well. It kind of shaped my childhood.
Our next question is from Pilly. What would you recommend for cleaning guns?
I think regular CLP, anything like that. I think Break Free is really good. That's what I get from Walmart, and that's what I use. It strips the finish off my table, so I'm sure it's able to strip the carbon from your gun.
Yeah, listen up, Sebi.
Yeah, Sebi, freaking clean your guns.
Clean your guns.
You've never spent any money on CLP. You've never even sprayed the shit. Yeah, if you don't know about Sebi and his guns, join the Reaver Approach Discord, and you will see the most horrendously dirty guns of all time. You're a sinner, Sebi. Clean your damn guns.
Our next question is from Forgotten Sangili. Do you have any knives in your setup?
All my setups have a knife. I always have a knife on my battle belt. This one is basically just for whatever purposes. A lot of it's just utility. That is a CRKT Triumph. I talk about that a little bit in my loadout video. And then on my body armor, I have a K-Bar TDI, which is a small punch dagger. I don't want huge knives on my body just because if I'm ever using a knife, it's going to be for utility, which is what my belt knife is for, or if someone is really up close and personal and I can't get to my pistol, and then really like a punch dagger is something that doesn't add a lot of weight and it fits underneath my arm really well without interfering with my pistol draw.
Our next question is from Mr. Pikachu. What's your Tavor setup?
Oh, my Tavor setup. Love this gun. It's right there. I have a RPM handguard on it, which I feel like changed the platform quite a bit. Awesome handguard. I've got a Manticore Overwatch rail with an EOTech XPS 2.0, a PEC 15, and a Streamlight flashlight. I forget what model it is, but normally I've got a Surefire Scout Mini on it. And then the jawbone of a coyote that I ripped it from. Love that gun.
Our next question is from the Dirt Biking Drifter. Do you want me to wait until you're done?
Now hit me with it.
Do you do shooting competitions?
I don't. That's definitely something that I want to get into. Currently, I'm really strapped for time. I work full time. I am taking double time school. I do YouTube, which has kind of turned into a part-time job in and of itself with the amount of time that it takes to make, shoot, and edit videos. So really, I'm full when it comes to time. However, once I graduate, I want to put a little bit more time into YouTube, and shooting competitions are one of those things that I want to jump into as well, because I think it would be great for us all to start getting into that.
Our next question is from Jackson Glass. Do you shoot on your own land or someone else's?
There is a lot of public land where I'm at. It's called BLM land, which is just public land. It's about 5 minutes from where I currently live, so I have a really great opportunity to have that so close to me. Eventually, I'm going to move away from here, and it's going to be a little bit more, but maybe one day I'll be able to have my own land. Setting up my own range so I don't have to haul steel targets back and forth would be awesome, because those bitches are starting to hurt my back because I'm getting fucking old. Old. I'm turning into a senior citizen.
Our next question is from Jose to Echo. How do you find flat ranges in Texas?
So I don't know about Texas specifically, but for anyone looking to find some flat ranges in their area, I think an easy way to do that is to jump onto a local Facebook group, get to know some guys. That way you can also learn with them, train with them, and they'll probably share some of the spots that they like to go to as well. If you're very new to it, a lot of those established shooters are going to have steel targets and things like that. So the cost of your startup is going to be a little bit easier.
Our next question is from Tyractyl. What would you recommend for a pistol red dot that doesn't break the bank?
I think anything by Holosun is definitely going to be your best bet. Holosun has come a long way over the years, and they've created a lot of reliable optics. Really, the only issues that Holosun optics have is going to be right out of the box. So if it doesn't work right out of the box, which is rare these days, you can just send it back and then they'll go ahead and warranty that. But Holosun is a great price, right around the $300 range. You really don't want to go too much cheaper than that, because then I think you get into some more Amazon quality and it's going to be hit or miss, which you probably already heard before. Sorry, that's not groundbreaking information, but it's absolutely something that I stand by.
Our next question is from SMMNAA. How accurate is bore sighting for a rifle, AR-15 in particular?
I think it's fairly accurate. It's going to get you on paper, but it's not going to be ultimately precise. It's going to get you there, but I really don't see a purpose for it unless you're shooting really expensive ammo and you want to really be trying to minimize how much you're shooting. But normally a couple extra rounds get you on paper if you're on like some sort of weird platform. But most AR platforms, any optic that I put onto it has been damn near perfect zeroed, and I've only had to do a few clicks within 50 yards, and at that point use zero for whatever range you're going for.
Our next question is from Trevin Eakins. What are your thoughts on suppressors?
I think suppressors are brilliant. The only reason to not have them is if you don't want to be on some sort of list, because it is an NFA item. So being on lists isn't very cool. Some lists are worse than others. I don't have any currently because I just haven't got around to doing it. And a lot of my guns are really hard to suppress. They usually tear themselves apart, or my barrels are pinned and welded and I can't change out the muzzle device. So it's something that I plan to do, but it just isn't something that I've done just yet.
Our next question is by Nick C. What are your thoughts on firearms that won't be used for serious situations, that aren't built well, but unique?
I believe this is where the Kel-Tec situation comes in. I wouldn't really call any Kel-Tec weapons battle ready. I've had differing levels of success with Kel-Tec rifles. The RFB honestly has been really cool. However, I think it's totally fine to have guns that you just like to shoot. They're unique, they're fun, you build it out for like a silly purpose, because shooting can be more than just some sort of like, I'm preparing for a civil war or personal defense. I like to build out guns. They're really fun. My KSG is the most overbuilt KSG of all time. There's no purpose for it, but I think it's really fun. It gets a lot of hate, but the thing is, do the things that you enjoy. If it's building out guns that are not so serious because you enjoy doing them, I say absolutely do it.
Our next question is by Young Bison. What are your thoughts on short-range, hard-hitting rifles like 450 Bushmaster and 50 Beowulf?
I don't have any experience with them personally. However,
I
do like the idea of short barrel 308s, which are in a similar vein. So I think they're cool. They're really fun. I like those beefy rifles. The main problem with any of those calibers is just the price to shoot them, and sometimes getting them is a little bit hard. If you've got a surplus of them, if you reload, then absolutely like an eclectic caliber like that might be fine. If not, then I would recommend something that falls onto the 308. So it's a very similar hard-hitting platform, not quite as much as maybe 50 Beowulf, but still does the same purpose, and it's a little bit cheaper to shoot. Nothing sucks more than buying a gun and it's too expensive to shoot.
Our next question is by Rich Mortician. What is the best gun or caliber to hunt coyotes?
308 is always my go-to. I use a 308 soft point that seems to be doing really, really well. I've had pretty good luck with 5.56, but it's a little bit more inconsistent. I think oftentimes the 5.56 rounds ice picks through them, especially with a 16-inch barrel. So it goes through the coyotes, especially the small ones, before it has that explosive cavitation. With the 308, it kind of just hits, especially with those soft points, it kind of hits and adds that energy a little bit quicker. So usually I have a one-hit drop on the coyotes, especially if you hit a bone. So 308 is my ideal platform. If you're shooting more long range, like 200 yards and out, then maybe something like a 6.5 Creedmoor is going to be a little bit better for you.
Our next question is by Jamie Walker. Why do people hold the barrels on guns?
If you're talking about holding like out as far as possible, like holding the handguard, not the barrel, if you hold the barrel, it is going to, one, affect the harmonics. Two, after you shoot a little bit, it's going to get hot really quickly. But if you're just talking about the handguard, so having a really modern grip and having your hand all the way out there, it's to maintain control of the recoil because it's recoiling from that furthest point, which is going to be the end of the barrel. So if you've got a really aggressive grip on that, then you're going to kind of control that instead of holding it further back, where the recoil is going to be a little bit more exaggerated if you're holding further back. So that is why most guys shoot that way.
All right, our next question is from Zero Liner. What's the most forgettable thing about guns?
The most forgettable thing about guns. Jesus. I really don't know.
We forgot.
I forgot. I really don't have an answer to that.
Our next question is by ZSE Plays. Where do you get your gear?
Well, that's a good question. Most of my gear is from just a variety of places. I find what works best for me and I use it. Not everything is one specific brand. If I was to pick one specific brand on as far as like clothing and some of the gear, I really like Hazard 4. I am a Hazard 4 affiliate, so if you wanted to get me a few extra coins, you can use my affiliate link. Most of my gear does come from Hazard 4 if it's like backpacks and things like that. If you're looking for specifics, I do have a full breakdown of my gear on my channel, but I love Hazard 4. I'll send for them.
Our next question is from Fernando Rosales. Where did you get your poncho?
Well, funny enough, that poncho also comes from Hazard 4. It is their Hazard 4 Poncho Vila. Great poncho. I absolutely adore it. If you want to get that, you can use my affiliate link and I get a little kickback for it. So
our next question is from Pikachu. Can you explain how and where you cut your Hazard 4 poncho for ease of use?
Yes. I will. Here it is, right? And it's kind of just an amalgamation. Essentially, you're going to cut off the front, except for about maybe 6 inches or so. The length is going to be completely dependent on what you want, because what I do is I keep a few extra inches up front that I roll up and then I just strap down through the front of the hood opening. As you can see here, we got just a small buckle. And that keeps the excess rolled up for warmer weather. And then when it starts to rain, I go ahead and unclip it. And that gives me a little bit more coverage along the front of my gear. I have winter versions that I just cut off maybe like 6 inches off the front. So the majority of it is still covering, but it's not quite so obtrusive up front. I'll do a whole short on it eventually, just because this is probably one of my most asked questions on my channel is all about my ponchos.
Our next question is from Javier Garcia. How do you like those pants?
If I recall, the video that he's commenting on, I was wearing the black multicam Cry knockoffs. I think they're awesome. I don't want to spend $350 on a pair of Cry pants. It's just a little bit too much for me. The purpose of these is because I go out and train in places where there's a lot of glass, and so I want to have a knee pad on, but I don't want to spend $350 for that. So the Emerson Gear stuff holds up really well. I know on Amazon there's a bunch of different knockoffs of the Crys, but the Emerson Gear I've used a lot of. I've got maybe 5 or 6 pairs and they've all held up really well.
All right, that's it on our guns and gear section.
What's our next section?
Our next section goes over your personal life.
Oh man, we're gonna jump into the nitty gritty. What type of underwear does the Reaver Approach channel wear? Joke's on you. I go commando. Joke's on you. I wear thongs. Joke's on you. I wear hers. Whatever she picks out for herself.
Our first question in the personal life section is going to be by Spottable Carp. When's the P.O. box opening up so we can send you cool stuff?
I was going back and forth a lot with the P.O. box, but I've started to feel a little bit more comfortable with the community. When my channel first started, the only comments on my video were just pure hate, but the community has developed a lot. There's a lot of regulars around here, so I think I'm going to open up my P.O. box and then I will have it in, I'll have that available in the Discord. Don't feel like you have to send me stuff. I'm just some guy, but if you want to send me some stuff to try out, or, you know, you got something you want me to have or try, then, or like a patch you want to send me, we can do it like that. April, I think, is what I'll shoot for. That way I have a realistic timetable.
Our next question is from the Dirt Biking Drifter. Do you play video games? If so, what?
I do. Some of my favorite video games are the hardcore survival games, Escape from Tarkov, DayZ. My friends and I also really love Helldivers. We've done that quite a bit. So anything where there's a lot happening, first-person shooters, third-person shooters, anything like that, along with some stealth games like the old Splinter Cells are always really good for me.
Our next question is by Katie Cravens. Keyboard or controller?
Ooh, man. I was a die-hard controller person, but about 2.5 years ago, I switched to PC. If I'm playing a shooting game, mouse and keyboard, baby. Mouse and keyboard. I can just see when someone's aiming with a controller, and it makes me uncomfortable.
Our next question is by ODS Anti-Ulf. What's your favorite game or fictional series?
Favorite game, I think, is always going to be Splinter Cell. I talk about it a lot on my channel. I've talked about it a lot in this video. Splinter Cell, I love Sam Fisher. I love those like high stress, gritty stealth games with the cool gizmos and gadgets. So definitely Splinter Cell. There's a whole book series to go along with it as well. So anything Splinter Cell, I eat right up. It's what got me into night vision too.
Our next question is from The Mountain Man. Do you play the Division series of games?
Yes, I played the Division 1 quite a bit, along with the Division 2. The Division 1 was definitely the better performer of the two for me because I like the snowy New York setting. I love the Dark Zone. I love the whole setting of it with a virus and stuff like that. I just don't like that every enemy is a bullet sponge. I wish it had a little bit more of the playstyle like Ghost Recon Wildlands or Ghost Recon Breakpoint. They kind of copied my look. I was using sling bags before the Division came out, just so you know. Gotta clear that up.
All right, our next question is from New Guy. Wolfenstein or Warhammer?
Ooh, very topical. If I'm going for strictly aesthetics, definitely Wolfenstein. I love the look of the bad guys. I love the red eyes and the aesthetics of it all. But gameplay, the new Warhammer 40K was a great time.
Our next question is from Gray. If you could have any power from any game, what would you choose and why?
Honestly, I think I'd like to have something where I could teleport. I know it's kind of simple, but being able to teleport kind of eliminates the need to fly. Being able to teleport also means you can move really quick, so instead of the speed of Flash going back and forth, I can just teleport to and fro. I also really like the show Jumper, and that made teleporting really cool.
Want to know what mine would be?
What?
The time powers from Quantum Break.
Oh, yeah!
Oh, yeah.
Oh, Quantum Break was like a movie and less like a video game.
It's a cinematic experience.
It was a cinematic experience, for sure. Very cool power.
Very cool.
Very cool power. Good choice.
I know.
Good choice.
That's where I got my name.
What?
Yeah, I played the crap out of that.
That's where you got your name?
That and the physics degree.
No!
Our next question is from Selena the Beaner. If you're a geek, what kind are you? Do you enjoy anime, Star Wars, Halo, stuff like that?
I'm a huge Lord of the Rings fan. I love Star Wars because I like the lightsabers. Can't say that I'm an anime fan, but I'm a really big gamer. I like that kind of stuff. Look at my shit. Like I'm a little bit nerdy. Like I sometimes build things because they look cool. So I'm definitely a little bit of a geek.
Our next question is from Justin Garlinghouse. Will you be playing Black Ops 6?
Nope. I cannot keep up with the speed demons or the movement demons or whatever. The movement is just too much. There's too much going on, and I prefer a little bit more of a serious shooter. And I'm just too fucking old to keep up with that shit. I just can't do it anymore.
Can't do it. All right, from Quentin V. What's your favorite movie, and why is it 1979's The Warriors?
My favorite movie is 1979's The Warriors. Why is that? I don't know, because I haven't seen it. My favorite movie is actually The Guardian. I'm going to exclude Lord of the Rings because that's a series. The Guardian, I think, is really cool. It's about the Coast Guard.
All right, from The Wolfman. Who is your favorite Batman?
My favorite Batman is probably the Pattinson Batman from the new one that just came out. I thought it was really, really cool. I think Christian Bale embodied the role the best as far as Batman is concerned, where he's Batman and Bruce Wayne. But the Robert Pattinson Batman, I thought was awesome. I liked how gritty it was. I liked that he was a bit of a recluse. I understand that isn't really what Batman is, but I really, really enjoyed it. And that was my favorite Batman to date. I am vengeance.
From Hammer and the Anvil. What's your favorite type of milk? Plain, chocolate, strawberry, or banana?
Spilled milk. Milk fucking sucks.
Yeah.
If I had to pick one, chocolate milk, and it'd be Yoo-hoo.
Follow-up question from Quinethy. Where do you rank Yoo-hoo as your favorite drink?
It's number one, baby. It's number one. If you're not drinking Yoo-hoo, then you better be drinking beer.
All right, next question is from Big Shug. What's your favorite cheap beer?
This, Corona. It's a cheap beer. I have a lot of great memories with it with my friends. I love adding a little beer salt to it, or if you're feeling really, really high class, then you actually add a lime to it. My little party trick that I used to do is I would put the lime wedge right up top, and as I was walking away with my beer, I would enter the room, and then seemingly all nonchalant, I would take my hand and just smash it right in, and it caused lime juice to spray everywhere, but it just launched the bitch right into the bottom. I don't know why, but I used to do that in like 2017 and I thought it was cool. Explaining it now, it seems like a little childish, but I'm gonna do that next time I have a lime.
From Gray, what's your opinion on potato salad?
Fuck potato salad.
I would recommend that.
Don't fuck potato salad.
Our next question is from My Dude AZ. Does pineapple belong on pizza?
For the longest time, I said no, but that is because I never actually had pineapple on pizza. I kind of just told myself I didn't like it. About 6 months ago, I had pineapple on pizza for the first time, and it was pretty good. Is that my favorite pizza to order? No. However, if I'm offered pineapple pizza, I will absolutely take a slice.
From the Mountain Man, what's your opinion on grunge?
It's a style. It's not a style that I like just because usually there's a lot of holes and stuff and it's like really baggy. And whenever I think of grunge, I think of dirty clothes. I don't know what it is. That might not be the right grunge that you're referring to, but it has never been it for me. I know some people have kind of said like I've got a grunge style, but I don't. I think I've got a little bit more of a clean cut look, just like an elder emo that maybe entered the professionalism world.
From Bayo, what's your favorite band?
My favorite band. Oh shit. My favorite band is probably We Came as Romans. I've listened to them for a long time. I grew up on them. But as far as my favorite artist goes, it's probably I Am J Kill or Josh A. I think they're really cool. They kind of have like that emo rap vibe, and I don't know what it is, but that's been doing it for me lately. Just absolutely doing it.
Follow-up question from AUSSN. What kind of music are you drawn to most? Different genres, different artists.
Favorite genre is and probably always will be screamo. I grew up on that. That is just what I like. I kind of base my aesthetics a little bit on it as well. I love screamo. We Came as Romans, A Day to Remember, Dance Gavin Dance, Devil Wears Prada. All those are like some of the older ones. Bad Omens, very recently, very, very good. Caskets also very recent as well. But I also really like the kind of like the emo rap as well, which is a little bit of crossover, but I'm very particular about those. I don't like all of it. I don't like country though. Can't get behind it.
It means I can't play half my playlists here.
Twang. Too much twang. What?
From Redacted, when did you first start collecting BPRE patches?
Ooh. I got into BPRE probably 2017, maybe 2016. 2017 is when I started getting the patches though. I've been collecting them ever since one of their last series before they stopped selling them on their website. And then I joined their Patreon, and then whenever they did like a limited rerun of some of their older stuff, I jumped right on that, but they haven't done that in a long time.
The next question is by Katie Cravens. What do you do for work?
I work for a college. I do sexual assault investigations, and I also run a department at the college. That is only going to be for a few more months. I'm working on my cybersecurity degree, and I hope to get into penetration testing and white hat hacking in the future. A couple more months and I'm done with school. Final.
Now we're going to bring the mood down just a little bit. Our next question is from Nico Chaser. Nico Chaser. Have you ever been shot or stabbed?
I have not been shot, thankfully, and hopefully I never will be. I have been stabbed a few times before, all in one setting. It was extremely uncomfortable, and I would not recommend it. That was part of the incident that kind of changed how and why I carry, and understanding that I need to be more serious with what I'm doing.
It's from Wannabe Nerf Operator.
Love him. Big friend of the channel. Big friend of the channel.
What's the best life lesson you've learned so far?
Probably is letting people enjoy things and enjoying the things that you want to enjoy. Don't do something to impress someone. Don't do something because someone tells you to. Focus on the things that you want to do and the things that you actually enjoy. Too many times we get wrapped up in the idea of doing what we expect people to like, and I think that can be really exhausting. I think also letting people enjoy the things that they want to enjoy. So many times people will jump down someone's throat because they like something that's different than you. They like a different gun, or they like a different anime. They like a different movie. They prefer X to Z. Whatever it might be, let people enjoy things.
Unless it's cringe.
Unless it's cringe.
Then you don't. Our final question and our personal life section.
Whoa!
Wow. Also from Katie Cravens. Is the girl in some of your videos your girlfriend?
Well, that depends on if you count a sister a girlfriend. Is that a good line?
No. Legally, no. Alright, as far as the government is concerned, since we are blood related, we're gonna answer that no.
Yes.
Nice.
All right, we are on to our next section. What section are we working through now?
This section is about your YouTube itself.
Fun questions, fun questions. I can talk about YouTube all day. It's a bit of a passion of mine, believe it or not.
From Forgotten St. Healy. How did you get your username?
So it started because my username on Xbox Live was related to Reaver. And then I started streaming on Twitch, and I carried that same name over to Twitch. When I started school, I wasn't streaming on Twitch anymore, and so I wanted to do something kind of creative, but I wanted to have the same name because a lot of people called me that already. That was just the way the world worked at the moment, and so I wanted to have Reaver in it as well, which is the main point of it. And I like the idea of, like, I wanted it to be known as a gun channel, but the thing is, I didn't want to do like Reaver Tactical or something like that because that's kind of played out at the moment. And I've got a different way of doing things, maybe a different approach to things, and so I called it Reaver Approach because it was my personal way of doing things.
From Max, have you considered a name for the community that follows you, or would you rather build a community with its own identity?
I think I'm going to let the community decide. There's always the joke that it's like Reavers Beavers or something like that, something silly like that. I've heard that a few times, but I think the community eventually will develop itself into something that I can't control, so I would certainly not try to put a name on top of it, so we'll see what happens.
Right now in the Discord, there's an ongoing joke that you guys are our children.
Oh yes, our just misguided children, hell-bent on embarrassing me and seeing my midriff.
NANI?
From Boris Kavatsky. Sorry, we already have so many angry Russians. We don't want more. How many videos do you create in a week, and how many do you actually post?
So as far as how many videos I create a week, it's going to be 7 videos a week. I create 7 shorts a week every week. That is always my minimum goal to hit. Once every month to every 2 months, I usually do a long format. Long formats take a lot of time to film and a lot of time to effort. They're my favorite to work in, but with how limited time I have right now with work, school, and other responsibilities, I don't have a lot of time to throw into them. So when I do have to sacrifice something else. So I'm not working on school as much, whatever it might be. Usually I'll film like 45 shorts when I go out, and then 15 or so won't make it, but the majority of them end up making it out there. As far as long format goes, most of them have made it. Sometimes I go back and forth on posting the long format because I made it and I'm just really not impressed with what it is, but I work on it till the end until I'm pretty well satisfied with it, because they are a lot of work going out there and filming that all by myself, you know, setting up the camera and doing it. Sometimes I just want to make sure that the effort that I put in, I actually get out of it.
From My Dude AZ, as a content creator, what is your opinion on shorts content? How long did it take you to learn how to actually use them?
So shorts content right now, I think, is the most consumed content on the internet. It is one of the reasons why I started to steer into it. Originally, when I first started doing it, I used shorts as a way to advertise my channel. I think that's still a good way to utilize shorts because it gets a lot of views and it brings a lot of people to the channel. My views on my channel have increased since I started doing shorts, and I helped to build the following, yada, yada, yada. But I started realizing that people want that short form content, so the long format really wasn't what they're looking for at the moment. And so I started changing my short form content, instead of breaking down what I was doing in a video, to standalone shorts. So we can have small bite-sized commentary on a very, very specific topic, a little bit of a niche, or maybe something that's just been rattling around in my head, or something that I've noticed. And then ever since then, my channel has been doing a lot better. There's a lot more interaction and it's a lot more fun to edit and make. In October 2023, I started. In January 2024, so a couple of months later, I started utilizing shorts a little bit more. And then about 6 months after that is when I changed the format of my shorts. So it took me about 8 months to realize how I want to utilize shorts in that way.
From Sumac, what is your plan with YouTube in the future?
Plan with YouTube in the future, continue working on it. It's absolutely something that I've grown to love and enjoy. I've loved the community. I've loved getting to know people, and creating videos is something that I've never done before. I started with YouTube. This was the first time, and I've never edited anything. I didn't know how it worked, and it's been a lot of fun. So plan for YouTube is, once I finish school, 8 or 9 months, I will be focusing a little bit more on it. I want to focus more on long format, getting a minimum of maybe like at least once a month for a long format, and maybe a few more here and there, as well as improving my shorts quality. And I also just want to improve the production value in total, get another camera, do a few more points of view, just to increase the level that I'm offering to everybody so it doesn't become stagnant.
From Spiffinator, do you see yourself doing this for a long time?
Yes, I've loved doing this. The only thing that would stop me from really doing YouTube is if getting out there was just really too hard to go and do. I don't want to film this in my room. I don't want to do this. I always want to go and have relevant information. And so I go out, I have a big training session, and then I talk about the stuff that I noticed or the gear that I'm using, along with a few ideas that were rattling around in my head. So long as I still am able to do so, I'm going to keep doing YouTube.
Another question from Spiffinator. Do you think success will change the way you approach making content?
I don't think so. Truly, I want to stay true to the idea of I do things in a very particular way. I want to have fun with it. I'm not focused so much on being a super serious content creator. I want to have fun with everybody, and I understand that having fun is a great gateway for new people to come in. If it's so serious that new people come in and they don't know where to start, or they feel like they can't ask questions, then I failed as a creator, at least in the realm that I want to do. So I want to keep having fun, and I want to keep traveling along the route that I have.
From On the Radar, if you hit 30K, sorry On the Radar, we did.
We hit 30K.
Would you be willing to buy an M14 and do videos on it?
That'll probably be closer to maybe like an 80K or something like that. I love M14s. They're cool guns. I would also appreciate the challenge that it takes to build and modernize something like that. I really only buy guns when it's financially responsible for me to do so, and I don't make a lot of money from YouTube, next to nothing. So it's hard to do that because it's all coming right out of my pocket.
This is why I'm unpaid.
She is my unpaid intern, people.
Our final question in this section is from Gray. What's your funniest hate comment?
Oh God, I don't know what my funniest hate comment is, but the one that comes to mind was some guy commenting on my jawbone video, the long format video, talking about why I have jawbones on my rifles. And he came in really, really hot, basically calling me cringe and stuff like that because I hunt coyotes because they killed my dog. He had this really big, long rant, and I never responded to him, but I thought it was kind of funny. So I pinned the comment in the video, and overnight it just got ratioed, and everybody was attacking this guy, and basically just, you know, calling him a silly Billy. But the real fun part is he attacked everybody that came into the comments, even the people that really had like a pretty good point of view. He just swung at them. And so reading those comments over the course of about 2.5 weeks or so has just been an absolute treat. And every now and again, someone still comments on it, and then he'll swing at them again. But it was fun seeing him lose steam over the weeks as he just really couldn't do it anymore. An absolute treat. All right, we are moving on to our final section.
Final section.
It's the final section of the 30K Q&A. What is the final section?
The final section on... I'm sorry, guys. I had to put all of your silly questions together. These are the reason that we got too drunk for the 20K Q&A, and we had to refilm it.
Here we go, the silly questions. Let's jump into it. These should be fun.
Our first silly question is from Rookie Guy. Why is it better to suck than blow?
I don't know.
Oh, do you, Mr. Twink? Ask your mom. Our next question is from Outlaw. Are you a top or bottom?
Variety is the spice of life, my friend. My father taught me to never be selfish. Every now and again, you gotta be on top. Every now and again, you're gonna be on bottom.
You don't have a choice.
You don't have a choice.
Also from Rookie Guy. I swear to God, dude. Do you prefer peach or balloons?
Balloons, baby. Balloons. I just can't get enough.
From Larry the Hoverfish. Does it clap?
Dead silent. Also makes me really good at infiltrating the local hostess store to steal Twinkies and Ding Dongs.
From Magic Meisel Gaming. Are you my papa?
Well, you have to have sex in order to have a kid.
From Osa. Where'd you learn to be this ballin', my guy?
It first began when my mother left me on November 30th. 2003. My personality is built off of the ever-crushing mommy issues that have forced me into the person that I am today.
From Gray. Why are you a terrorist?
I think it's because I have an AK, but I don't have an AR-15 in my inventory. I don't own an AR. I think they're dreadfully boring guns, and I have better platforms, and I'd rather have a Tavor. Get over it, guys.
I think he's referring to the scar. From Pankin Antkin. Can water polo players touch the floor?
They absolutely cannot. One of the most impressive things about water polo players is the ability to tread water for an extended period of time and perform at the level that they do. All the ladies in the grandstands are lusting after that because they know the water polo players can bring the stamina to the bedroom that their husbands, boyfriends, and cuck boys can never bring.
From Rich Mortician. He simply writes, eggnog?
Absolutely eggnog. However, I'm a Southern Comfort guy or nothing. That's it.
From Raga. Are you gonna buy her dinner next time?
Already did. Bing!
Bing.
Bing!
Bing. From Jordan J. Jareb. Say that 5 times fast.
I won't.
Do you have a tactical guide to getting a girlfriend that likes guns?
Step 1, acquire drip. Step 2, hopefully she watches your YouTube videos. Step 3, pray.
From Mr. Turtles. How does one acquire a maiden?
Step 1, acquire drip. Step 2, hopefully first to be the person that you want to be. Shower for one.
Shower.
Clean your ears.
Clean your desks.
Clean your goddamn desks. Be the person that you want to be. Make sure that you are in a good spot to have a relationship and you are not going to be a miserable human being. And be yourself. Have fun. Don't be so focused on finding the relationship. It'll happen. Sometimes you do gotta put yourself out there in order to meet them.
Because then you never have to worry about if they'll like you for you. Because you're kind of autistic from the start. Moving on, our last question from Riori Ichi. Will y'all be getting married? Listen, Mr. Riori Ichi, the second our state allows sibling marriages, it's gonna happen. Alright.
We can't keep that in there. They're gonna think we're siblings. It'll think you're fucking each other.
Oh my gosh.
Well, everyone, thank you so much for joining us for the failed 20K Q&A and for the successful 30K Q&A. I never thought that the channel would get to this point, especially in such a short amount of time. I want to say thank you to everybody who commented, left some questions, and has just been around the channel. You all have made YouTube so fun for me. In my early days of YouTube, there were so many times when I was thinking about just like stopping because it was only hate, and I was putting a lot of effort and time, which I really didn't have that much of, into YouTube, and I just wondered, like, why am I doing this? And being able to interact with you all, reading your comments and having your jokes and seeing those familiar names and sites come in has really made this so much fun. But thank you once again for joining us for the 30K Q&A.
Hope to see you at the 50K.
If you appreciate the work we put into this low quality 30K Q&A and the failure of the 20K Q&A, subscribe. I will see you all on the next one. Nice.
So we're facing away, right? Welcome back to the Reaver Approach channel. Today we're talking about the Walther P365. I don't have my sunglasses on.
You don't. Oh, sweet. All right, we're hitting it.